I made a big mistake. Fall gardens are all the rage right now, and there's good reasons for it. Number one, the colder weather makes weeds less likely to grow. It keeps back the bugs. You don't have to water as much because it's raining more often. And you know, some of your leafy greens and things like that, they don't bolt so much. There's just one problem that I have: darkness. I work full-time, and so in the summertime I can go out in the morning, and then when I come home in the evening I can still go out and work on the garden. But when fall rolls around, the days get shorter. It gets dark, and then daylight savings time goes away. And so by the time I get off work, it's already dark and cold and wet. There's other problems with working in the garden in the wintertime. West of the Cascades, right around the end of October, early November, it starts to rain and everything gets wet. And it pretty much stays wet until May. And that's a problem because it's really dark. You're just walking around in the muck and the mud, and that makes weeding very difficult. Any type of tilling that you might want to do, that makes it harder. Even though I'm just using hand tools, it's still, you know, just like a big farming implement, it's still going to get gummed up with mud and debris. Why put myself through all that hassle? So here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is the broccoli. And I did harvest broccoli heads. For some reason, I don't know if you can see this, it's growing more heads, but the trouble is that they're also already starting to flower for some reason. Not really sure why. I could have done something wrong, but again, I can't get out in the garden during the week in order to look at that sort of stuff and keep an eye on it from day to day because it's just so dark. Then another good example, I've got some cabbage out here, but this one here has just gotten wrecked. I don't know if you can see this, but there's already a hole right there in this cabbage. There's a big hole in that leaf. And again, I can't get out here during the week, so I can't see darkness when this stuff starts to happen. So by the time I can react to any pest pressure, it's already too late. And then this is our Salanova, which you can see is just, I mean, even up here away from the ground, we've got lots of dirt and just grime going on in there. I mean, the nice thing is it hasn't bolted on me, which is what tends to happen when I grow lettuce, but unfortunately it's just nasty. And here's another thing, I can't imagine that it's quite as bad in a garden as it would be on a farm when you're dealing with literally tons of machinery rolling around on muddy ground. But this cannot be a good thing, having to walk back and forth on this mud. And so being able to just plant a cover crop here and allow that to kind of break up that soil and break up any compaction issues, even if they are minor, is only going to be a positive for the next year. Don't mind this mess. This mess will come out. Actually, I should do that right now. You do know that's north in winter. Just saying. Every year, I never pull my tomatoes out until the next spring. I kind of wish I would do this in the wintertime after they're
after they're done. I should say the late fall. What are these? These are supposed to be tomato covers that that I put on in the early fall to help protect them from rain and cold. They didn't really help, and they cost money, and they are just garbage when you're all done with them. That's kind of a waste. Next time, then the tomatoes are done, they're done. Alright, so these tomato cages I bought thinking that these would stay standing up straighter than those just wire cages that you saw back there. And they do, but they are a giant pain in the butt to put together. And if I'm gonna be using my time wisely, this is not how you do that. A tomato cage, I know that they're not the in thing, but they're quick. And I'm not gonna use these anymore. They just waste too much time. And now I have to waste a bunch of time taking it apart. Broken. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember to YouTube properly and like, comment, and subscribe.
Are you out there? Hello? Hello? Anybody?